Hotel Black Power, brothers and sisters. As always, giving honor to the Creator, giving honor to the ancestors. Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul of the Street Law Soldiers. My sister, my father, my in-laws, and all the brothers and sisters and family that are fighting for the liberation and salvation of our black nation, as well as my subscribers, my viewers, and my supporters. And a special Hotep and Black Power, and we send our deepest condolences to the mother of Street Law Soldier Sergeant Robert Duck Burgess, whose mother, Barbara Burgess, made her ascension today, and hopefully she'll be embraced by the ancestors today. She was one of many of our Street Law Soldiers supporters. She helped put together and design a couple of our uniforms, and she was a great supporter of the youth as well as the adults that were part of the movement and those who were just clients, youth clients in the organization. So we send our Hoteps and Black Powers and our prayers and send energy to the Burgess family in their need of comfort, that the Creator and the ancestors will embrace them and assure that Sister Barbara Burgess makes a peaceful transition and journey to the ancestral realm. A few things I want to discuss today. First of all, I want to discuss the situation with Monique, the sister Monique, who was talking with Steve Harvey. And Steve Harvey, this nigga had the nerve to ask Monique to apologize to Whoopi Goldberg for stating that Whoopi Goldberg is, quote unquote, the help in terms of a lot of her movies, in terms of a lot of the behaviors that she presented in the industry. And so Monique said, I'm not apologizing. Fuck that. I'm not apologizing for what? And Monique has always been the type of sister that up until she was fucked around by the industry and found out how they played ball, she was she's been an outspoken person and a stand-up sister. And she's also from Baltimore, right outside of Washington, D.C. So she has that, she has that G in her. However, when Lee Daniels wanted her to play ball and she refused to do that, she was blackballed. And just to show you the type of power the homosexuals have in the film industry, how powerful they are and how they run the film industry. 95% of movie directors, black and white, are homo or bisexual at the least. And so they have this thing where you hit one, you hit them all, and they all stick together. I'm talking about the males. They stick together just like queens. And Monique stood up and was blackballed, and she went on social media and formed her own broadcast channel, and so which became pretty much popular. However, Steve Harvey went to cooning, wanted Monique to coon, because these guys, these black guys that are in the industry that have sold their souls and that are comfortable now with buck dancing and jigabooing and shoe shining and ass licking. They are extremely comfortable with this. And what they'll do, they'll flash their wealth and tease the poor with their wealth to make them, to try to persuade them that all they have to do is sell their souls and they can get some wealth, which is nothing. Let me break that down to you. Nothing but paper and toys. But you have to remember, brothers and sisters, that your spirit and soul lives forever. It never dies. It never dies. And when you give it away or you trade it in, which is a curse to your creator, which is a curse to God, to take your unique soul that you were individually given by the creator, because there's no two alike. And when you give yours away for the things that don't matter at the end of the day, then that is very displeasing to the creator. However, Monique cussed Steve Harvey out and refused to apologize to Whoopi Goldberg. And for what? You have to understand what this situation, why she didn't apologize to this jigaboo. And you can look, let's just take a look at this racehorse mouth, this racehorse looking motherfucker here. You can see the pain and the emptiness that he has inside of him, that he tries to cover up so much day by day. He's an empty soul. When conscious people see him, what they should yell is dead man walking. And this is the reason why Monique shouldn't apologize to Whoopi Goldberg anytime she was dealing with a so-called white Jew who performed blackface right in front of her, and she thought that shit was so funny and hilarious for this white devil to jump up in blackface and imitate your ass, imitating you, that you thought it was so funny. Whoopi Goldberg. You all know that's not her name. Karen Johnson is her real name. Well, slave name, which she should have kept because she's a house slave at best. She's a straight up bed wench. She was sleeping and fucking Ted dancing. This Frankenstein head motherfucking cracker who she was madly in love with. And so, hell no, Monique shouldn't apologize to Whoopi. And she played, they're on The View. They're the token niggas. These token niggas. And you never seen her smile like this in the presence or admiring the beauty of a black man. But she's another one that thinks that she hit the lotto by fucking this big Frankenstein gold head motherfucking cracker, Ted Danson, who didn't do anything because he left her. And she was all distraught and broke down, drinking and all this shit because Whoopi is an ex-junkie. She's an ex-dope fiend. Because her first stand-up act, she was imitating herself when she used to shoot dope. And so, he didn't want any. Ted Danson didn't want nothing but to taste some black pussy And so he can qualify himself that he's been with a what they call quote unquote a black bitch. And so hats off to Monique for not apologizing. There was no need to apologize. There will never be a need to apologize to Whoopi Goldberg. This motherfucker here, Liam Neeson, you know, this straight up motherfucking white nationalist, because I don't like to say supremacist, but I will say it at times for the sake of understanding. But this demon, this goddamn devil who hates black people to the fucking core. To the fucking core. And so, you know, he stated that a friend of his was sexually assaulted by a black man. And he stated that he rode around looking to kill, and I'm quoting him, riding around looking to kill any black bastard that he saw. The first black bastard that he saw, he wanted to kill. And then he tried to clean it up and say that that's how he felt. He know it was bad. He know it was wrong to feel that way and all this shit, you know. But I am announcing, brothers and sisters, do not watch or support this motherfucker under no conditions. Under no conditions. And I used to like some of those movies, Taken, and I thought he was a pretty fair actor. But he's nothing. He's nothing. He's nothing. He's a white nationalist, white imperialist motherfucking cracker. That supposedly his bloodline is linked to the so-called royal family. But the royal family is my parents and my brothers and sisters. Your parents and brothers and sisters. Because they are the ones that are royal. The black family is the royal family. Royal means special. Royal means extremely strong. Royal means the lineage is connected. And royal means plenty of wealth. And it doesn't have to be in paper. And that's what we got to get. That's what we're going to have to understand. And give this devil his shit back. Give him his goddamn cars. Give him his shit back. Give him his money. Give him his PlayStations. Give him his motherfucking holidays back. Give him his TV shows back. Because none of this shit is doing us no good. Give him his clothes back. Give him everything back. Because he means us no good at all. And he is a prime example of how the rest of the whites in Hollywood feel, but don't have the courage to say it to the black man's face. And I know in the hood, when you don't have the courage to say something to a brother or sister in their face, you are labeled a coward. You're labeled a punk. And so that's how the cracker is. And we got to be real clear about this. And discipline ourselves to not watch or support these devils whatsoever. It's not worth it, brothers and sisters. It's not worth it. You're selling your soul. Now, they had the show American Soul has came on, supposedly about the Don Cornelius story, which I find appalling, which I find insulting, which is full of lies, full of cover-ups, full of deceits that they play on the black community like they've been doing. A whole bunch of lies, a whole bunch of bullshit. Now, first of all, Don Cornelius never committed suicide. Let's just get that straight. When they play these shows, these episodes on television, remember I'm telling you this so you can begin to discipline yourself. Do not believe that shit. Don Cornelius was murdered. He was killed. Regardless of what anybody says, Don Cornelius was murdered. And the dream and the vision that he had came to fruition. This is one of his sons, Tony Cornelius, who is a money-grubbing punk. All he has done was take from his father. And when his father passed, raped his father's estate. And you come up with this show, which is a smokescreen. Because really, you don't have love for your father, for real. You don't have love for him. Because you always wanted to be like him. Instead of dipping into your own personality. You wanted to imitate somebody else. But you despise your father. And your father was nothing but good to you. Now, the other brother, Raymond Cornelius, doesn't want to be in the spotlight or anything. He wants no part of this bullshit. And the thing that Don Cornelius said, that the greatest relief for him was getting divorced from this Ice 8. He was married to this she-dog a few years before finally divorcing him. Which, when people were saying, well, a couple of people that lied, that saw Don Cornelius in bouts of depression, and that was based on the fact he made the mistake of marrying this ice dog. And if you look at him, he looks totally disgusted. Totally disgusted. In terms of what he has under his arms. Okay, Keke Palmer. She has a movie called Pimp. And I was so disappointed in Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer played a female pimp that was pimping women. Her name was Wednesday, and DMX, pictured here, played her father. And no offense to DMX, but they had strong content, drug content in the movie. In other words, they were cutting up coke and snorting coke and all this stuff. And he should be the last one in a scene as such, based on his history of substance abuse. And, you know, it was just a foul movie. And I hope that DMX, because he didn't look the same. You could tell that DMX is still dibbling and dabbling in drugs and alcohol. But Keke, on the other hand, she wasn't an opportunist. However, she stated that she was tired of being what other people wanted her to be. And this film was about her coming into her own. Because she is gay off screen as well as on screen. And she played a hot love scene with this white bitch. Now, the movie Pimp was about DMX, her father, being a pimp, but he ended up overdosing off heroin. She took over the business, and sooner, not too long afterwards, her mother ODs, who's played by Angela Ellis. And so the whole establishment and game was handed over to Kiki. And she made some changes, but she fell in love with a white bitch that she was in love with from elementary school. Elementary, middle school, elementary, middle school, high school, and beyond. She had an overwhelming love for this sister, for this white bitch. And part of the movie states that, and she did the love scene with this white bitch who she fell in love with. And anything that you can imagine took place in this so-called sexual love scene. Very, very nasty. Very nasty. Very nasty. And so, Keke Palmer, who used to have her own talk show, and I used to see her come out with her heels. She was walking very uncomfortable with heels and a dress on. But she does a little bit of everything in this movie. A little bit of everything. And so, this is one of Lee Daniels, who is a sick piece of fuck. This is one of his movies. And he, as always, brings the filth and the homosexual and lesbianism out. And Keke Palmer, by her being, she says she's not male or female or whatever, in terms of her sexuality. She's just a regular some shit she used, some term she used. And this is what Hollywood does to you. Lee Daniels, who I believe is the sickest motherfucker in Hollywood. This dick-eating faggot is responsible for the movies Monsters Ball, and any Precious, and any other degrading movies that you can think of where black people are engaging in the lowest forms of everything. And the movie is a terrible influence, so if your children watch it, and especially the scene where Kiki is 9 or 10 years old and she falls in love with this white girl whose name was Nikki in the movie, that it's the green light for our babies, our little girls, to go ahead and get down like that. See, these movies are propaganda. They send out messages to influence and turn out our babies, turn out the black community. Now, Lee Daniels has another movie coming out, sick movie, about a black gay superhero, black male gay superhero. That's a straight faggot, but he's a superhero. That he beats up heterosexuals, but he's a homosexual. And this is the type of mentality, where have we gone wrong? Where have we gone wrong? Because we're headed for straight disaster. Straight disaster. It's already almost legal to murder a black heterosexual man in this country. Because no one is held accountable for the killing of black men in this country. Nobody. And what we have to do is stand up and retaliate and not allow this media and these white cracker motherfuckers to say that what we're doing is wrong. We're supposed to allow our children to be murdered, our brothers, our uncles and fathers to be murdered by a straight up white imperialist motherfucking cop. Go to court, sit down, act like nothing's going on. Watch him get acquitted. Don't become irate on national TV and wait for the fucking wrongful death lawsuit money. And we keep doing that dumb shit over and over and over and over again. Instead of us coming in strength in numbers, all the organizations, all the movements, religious ideologies come together and black boot stomp this motherfucking cracker. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about physically. I'm talking about in everything that is being done to them. Make the motherfuckers who were involved stand accountable. And it is so fucked up the way that our system is set up right now, where the black heterosexual male stands no change. Public enemy number one. Keke Palmer is going to probably be nominated next year for an Oscar for this award, so-called award-winning role that she played, which she co-directed it with Lee Daniels. And she says she's been waiting for this for a long time because everyone wanted her to be this nice young girl, nice young woman with a bright future. And to be able to live a wholesome life. But that wasn't her. Keke Palmer wants to be a wild butch. And she showed it in the movie. She showed it in the movie. And so I hope that none of you come to defend her, because if you do, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb because you did fucking wrong. Once again, DMX, it appears he looks like he's rumbling with that demon again. It appears that he's rumbling with that demon once again. So our prayers and energy goes out to DMX because he's a talented, strong brother. Even though I was surprised to see him in a Lee Daniels film. But however, Lee Daniels is catching, if you're gay and you allow yourself to be under the influence of this motherfucking faggot, then the sky's the limit for you in terms of material things. But you got to give up your ass. You got to go to these after parties. You got to be willing to get down. Because some of the same people you see on TV are at these parties, sky high and drunk, ready to get down have a same-sex sexual showdown. It goes on every day in Hollywood. The director's couch, all of that is true. All of it's true. But when do we stand up and take a stance on what's being done to us? I'm going to come back with another video, brothers and sisters. I hope you got something out of this. I had and for you subscribers that always talking about a person's studio, how it looks, and all of this type of weak shit. You're not supposed to be looking around, actually, and not in my studio. You're supposed to be focused on the message. That's it. Nothing else really doesn't matter. If the information is powerful, and my studio is set up for me, when I go out into the streets, it's a different story. But my comfort zone consists of what you see. Hotel, Black Power.